Everybody, this is Geneva of Geneva's Closet Talk Show. How are you doing today, people? Hope you're having a fabulous Friday. We done finally made it to Friday here, my Chicago, Midwest, Illinois time. It is 5 o'clock p.m., people, so you know it's time for this interview today with Miss Simone Davis. And who is Simone Davis, you ask, if you didn't already know? She is the mother. Well, she has a baby by Bryson. What is this? Oh, Lord. Uh, Bryson Bryant, aka Bryce. And Bryson mother is Atlanta's housewife, NENE Leakes. Now, before I bring Simone on, I just wanted to explain a few things on why I even decided or why I even reached out to Simone. So I do want to make that clear that she did not reach out to me, because I know there's a whole bunch of things about her reaching out to bloggers and stuff like that. But no, I reached out to her, and I actually reached out to her Tuesday morning. It had to have been very early, probably about, I don't know, about 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. But the reason why I contacted Simone is I seen, just like a lot of you all probably seen, the articles and stuff going around in the media about her saying some things about Bryson not taking care of her son, and her mentioning NENE Leakes in the midst of that. So when I seen that article, I seen it. I didn't really pay a whole lot of attention to it. I'm like, oh, okay. But what made me decide to contact her was that I was watching a video on YouTube, and trying not to be messy or anything. But when I seen the video, I didn't like the way that everyone was coming for Simone. And I probably felt that way, just to be honest, because Simone is a single mother of 3 children. And like it has been said many times, 3 children by 3 different men. Well, I happen to have 4 children by 4 different men. So I know that sometimes things happen, and just because you have children by different men, that don't mean that you're a bad person. I don't mean that you're a whore or anything like that. But that made me reach out to her, because I felt like there was a story there, and I felt like that everyone was coming hard on her instead of trying to really figure out what exactly was she saying. So I reached out to her, and she said that she would talk to me. But one of the things that Simone did say was that, when I did talk to her that day, because we actually talked on the phone twice, and that day, Tuesday, was our first time talking on the phone. So when I talked to her, I did not want to ask her a whole lot of questions. I asked her just a few things, because I want the interview to be authentic. I want to find out at the same time you're finding out. But one thing that Simone did say to me before we got off the phone, it was a question that she had for me, and she wanted to know, was I going to change her words around? And I was kind of shocked that she said that. I was like, during the interview, because I didn't know if I wanted to do the interview live or if I was going to pre-record it, edit it, and then put it out there. But when she asked me that, I was kind of surprised. I was like, why would you? No, because I never do anything like do things like that. But she mentioned that when that she felt like that's what Radar Online did to her when she spoke with them. She felt like they changed her words around in that article. Just in case you read it, I want you to know that, so we'll touch bases on that. And so that's why I decided to go live, because I want you to hear exactly what she has to say. And we're going to go a little bit deep with this interview. This interview today is going to be a mixture of talking to Simone, and I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to do this. Am I going to do this in the midst of the interview or after the interview? But I happen to feel like sometimes the apple does not fall too far from the tree. So while everyone is coming down on Simone, we do need to talk about this whole Bryson thing and his mother, because like I said, sometimes the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. But let me bring her in right now. Simone, girl, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. How's everybody?
You look lovely, girl. You're looking lovely over there today.
Thank you.
And how's the baby doing?
He's doing great. Bad as ever.
And then what I would like to do today is, instead of just saying the baby has a name. His name is Blaze. So I would just like to use his name during this interview. So instead of saying all that baby mama, baby daddy, and the baby, we're just gonna say Blaze, okay? So Simone, let me start off this interview like this. What made you decide to come out to the media and start talking?
I just felt like, maybe it would pull their attention more. I think it's sad that my child doesn't have his other side of the family, and it just kind of upset me that, they don't want to be a part of his life. So I just felt like, maybe if I post it, because NENE was watching, my page and Bryce too. So maybe if I post it and they're like, oh man, she's, putting it on social media. Well, let me call her, things like that. But it didn't happen that way, obviously.
Okay, so your whole purpose of putting it on social media was that you had did that in the hopes that they would see that and then reach out to you.
Catch their attention, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now, what I noticed when I had went and looked on your Instagram page, because the first day I talked to you, I did go check out the Instagram. And what I noticed was that even though everyone was kind of coming down on you, feeling like that you were, the words that people like to use now, clout chasers, because everyone uses this whole clout chaser thing, and the gold and all of that stuff. What I noticed, just basic research from looking at her YouTube page, her Instagram page, was that she has some pictures on there of her and Bryson. I think there was a picture back in May that she posted of her and Bryson. I think she said late night with Bryce. Okay. Now that was in May. And I think it was in August, if I'm not mistaken, she had posted, let me see if I can find it actually, because I think I screenshotted everything. I sure did. It was October. No, matter of fact, it was August 2nd. August 2nd, you posted on your Instagram. You said, I give my baby daddy so many chances to be a father. I will blow him up, even though I know he won't answer unless I'm trying to be with him. Then he'll come running. I don't call to talk to him about nothing other than my kid. Sad thing is, he knows that. I just video called Blaze's dad, and of course, he didn't answer, but asked me for $40 2 days ago so he can get gas to come over my house, SMH, but his mother is NENE Leakes, a millionaire. So BK and I left him this voicemail anyway, breaks my heart. Now that was August 2nd. So I'm like, okay. And then I noticed August 3rd, that's when you did the screenshot of the Cash App showing, that he had requested money. And then you had put, why is my baby daddy Bryson? Mind you, on the one she did before, she didn't even mention Bryson's name, but on this one, she said August 3rd, why is my baby daddy Bryson requesting money from me? Cancel all that S. Don't you work at UPS and your mother is NENE Leakes? Call your mama. You don't take care of your 10-month-old son, but want me to give you money? And then you did some hashtags. Now that was August 3rd. Now what I found, okay, and then here go another one. Now this is August 24th. Now, I'm assuming people had to been reaching out to you or saying stuff to you based on them other two postings because you put August 24th. This is all in August, people. She says, so to all you people that keep asking if I really have a baby by NENE Leakes' son, Bryce, and why I don't talk about them, well, your answer is yes. And there's absolutely nothing to talk about. I am not, she put in all caps, with him. I left him alone way back in 2017. The people close to me know what's going on between him, his family, and mine. If it was meant for the world to know, it'll be exposed. Trust me, the day will come. Until then, I continue to do what I'm doing. Bam. Now, what I have found, I'm like, okay, then I don't see you say anything else about Bryce until October 13th. Then that's when you go in and say that we had the opportunity to do 2 reality shows, but this clown refused because he doesn't want me to embarrass him on TV. Yeah, I left him alone back in 2017, but he still wants to be a family. So why not do our own show? He'd rather flip burgers at Burger King and sleep couch to couch, but your mama a millionaire. I'm trying to see what the ratings would be for this because the world knows I'm coming hard with my receipt. My mouth has no filter. I like $1 million checks. Where's my pen, bish? Signing. And then it's 6 days later. I guess 5 or 6 days later is when you started making your videos and stuff. Now, what I have found interesting is what I had asked you when we were talking on the phone. I was like, wait a minute, Simone. Considering the fact that you had put the screenshots up early August, and then people must have been asking you about the whole Bryson NENE leaks, and you was like, there's nothing to talk about. That was August 24th. The rest of August, then we have all of September, then we have practically all of October. You hadn't said anything. Then at the end of October, all of a sudden, you decided to come out and started speaking. So my question to you on the phone was, girl, what had pissed you off from August to the damn near the end of October to make you be like, oh, hell no, now I'm about to speak my truth? What happened?
I mean, it's been a buildup of things, but it just, at that point in time when I first started speaking, Bryce really just kind of made me mad. It's like, well, we talk and we'll talk, he wants to come home and things like that. And, but if I text him and say, hey, video call me to see Blaze, or let's link up so you can see Blaze or something like that, he won't respond. But if I call him and say something about, us being together, or hey, let's do something, kind of like a trick thing, to see if he'll respond, he falls for it. So it pissed me off. It pissed me off. So I just, I was just over it.
Isn't it usually like that in relationships? Sometimes you can't get the man to come over to take care of his child, but if you think he's gonna get some sex or something, then you can get him to come over. So that's kind of what you're saying that you was dealing with as far as Bryce.
Right.
Okay. When did you meet Bryson?
I met him back in 2016.
You met him in 2016, and then how long were you all dating?
We dated for like a year. I've known him, of course, 2 years since, like I said, I met him 16, but we dated for about a year. I believe I was 4 months pregnant when I left him. Don't quote me on the dates. I'm not sure.
Okay, so what made y'all break up when you was 4 months pregnant?
Oh, I was just over it. I mean, it was a back and forth thing between, him, Ashley. He was a spiral going downwards. I mean, things changed. I believe he got back on drugs because he wasn't on them when, I've said before, he had got off drugs. I made him basically choose between me and the drugs, and he chose me. He wasn't on them, and then I felt like, he was back messing with Ashley again, and he got back on the drugs. So I didn't want to have any parts of that. I have 2 other children, and I don't want, to be around that. So I left him alone.
Okay. So when you met Bryson, did you, was he on drugs? So when did you find out that there was a drug problem, basically?
I knew, previous years ago, what I'm saying? I watched The Housewives, he hasn't been on since what, 5 to 7 years maybe.
Wow.
So I knew, what I'm saying, that he had did drugs previously. Now all the blogs and everything, people have said, oh, well, if you read the blogs, you've known he's been on drugs. I don't read blogs. I didn't even know I was in the blog until somebody brought it to my attention.
Okay.
But when I met him, I mean, we went to the casino, everything was fine. He didn't seem like he was on drugs or anything like that. Actually, one of his close friends told me, that he had been doing drugs, and Bryce was actually laying right next to me when his friend told me that. And he looked at me, we had a conversation about it, and he said, yeah, I was doing it. He said, I haven't done it in this amount of time. And I said, okay, well, I told him, I said, if you do drugs, there's no period. So, he chose me. And I mean, as people see, I've had pictures and everything, we stayed together and all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, I say I noticed a change. I say I left him in April. I noticed the change around my birthday, which was March. My birthday's in March. So that's when I noticed the change. Yeah. March
of last year?
Last year, yeah.
Okay. So when you say that you noticed a change in Bryson, what type of change was that you noticed? I mean, so what was he doing before in comparison to the change that you seen?
Like his attitude, he has mood swings I could tell when he's on it, because he has mood swings and he sweats a lot. So,
okay. So, because I've heard people say that, just like how you said that, how could you be with, that you must have knew that he was on drugs and all that type of stuff. Then I heard people say that you must be on drugs since you with somebody that's on drugs, because you can never be with somebody. So what do you have to say about that, Simone? Are you on
Nothing. I
drugs?
mean, I have never done a drug in my life. I don't even smoke weed. I've never picked up a cigarette, none of that. So I don't pay any attention to that stuff because I've never done any drugs. Um, as far as Bryce, like I said, I knew way years ago, and then, they said that he was in rehab, I think twice. I think his mom put him in rehab twice or something like that. But I didn't know about anything after that, same as, his kids. I didn't know how many kids he had either. I thought he just had one child.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just, things have been a secret for years I didn't know about. So then when I met him, you have to actually get to know somebody before you know the truth, so.
Okay, now let me ask you this. Since you and Bryson wasn't dating for that long, but nevertheless you all still had a relationship and you got pregnant, what type of relationship did you all have? Like, were you two in love? Were y'all going out all the time? Like, was this your boo? What type of relationship did you and Bryson have?
It's kind of bad to say because I think he was more in, I think he was more into it than I was.
Okay.
And he did express how hurt he was when I left him. He told me, when he met me, it was love at first sight, that he was going to marry me and have, he wanted me to have his baby. And he's proposed to me 5 times, and all 5 times I said no, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But he treated me very well. He treated me like a queen, and I've expressed that before. I had no problems. I was happy, he was happy. But it just, I think he was more, like I said, into it than I was. And I think that's what led him to go back to his old ways, because he felt like I wasn't into him.
Okay, so why wasn't you into him? I mean, so why was he into it more than you?
I don't really know. He just says he hasn't met anybody like me. And then he also said that I remind him of his mother because of my mouth.
Mm-hmm.
He says, people always tell him, that you're going to end up marrying somebody like your mom. And yeah.
Girl, speaking of that, girl, when I did some research, because all my people know, all of my Closet Secrets know that I'm huge on research. When I did some research, I found something that I was like, wow, because you know that they say that sons tend to date their mothers.
Girl,
yes, I found an article. I was like, yeah, NENE leaks and some things that Simone Davis have said is practically carbon copies. Practically carbon copies. Okay, so let me ask you this then. Were you in love with him then?
Am I what?
Did you love Bryce? Were you in love with him?
I have love for him.
Okay.
I'm the type, it's hard for me to fall in love because of my past, things I've been through. So I'm more of a it takes a lot for me to actually fall in love. Don't get me wrong, he treated me good, everything like that. And but I just think everything kind of happened so fast. And the lifestyle, the lifestyle they live, I started seeing a lot of things, that I didn't like. So it was kind of pushing me back as well, being around them and things like that. So I'm just like, okay, I don't know if I want to even deal with that, be involved in that. And I don't do baby mama drama. Okay. And his other baby mama, when she's on the drugs too, she's a hot mess. And I don't deal with that. So
okay, so you said, so when you say the other baby mama, I'm assuming you talking about Briasia's mom, Ashley. Yeah. So Ashley is on drugs too.
Yeah, she's been on them, yes, forever.
Okay, so let me ask you this. How far into the relationship with you and Bryce did you start going to NENE house, or did you meet his family?
I actually, the day I moved to Georgia in 2016, I was at her house that night.
Oh, okay. So you met the family pretty quickly. Okay, so when you met NENE and stuff, was you like, okay, I done slightly hit the jackpot?
No. No, because actually I knew how they were before I even moved to Georgia. Me and Bryce were friends on social media for like 2 years before we actually met. And he was coming to my home state, which is Indianapolis, to see me before I even moved to Georgia. So I had already knew, you know, video calls, FaceTimes, all that stuff, talking, visits. I already knew how they were. So it wasn't like, you know, I moved to Georgia and was like, oh my God, I'm in NENE's house. I can care less, you know, like I've told people before, now my other my other social media page, I've dated ball players. Okay. So money is nothing to me. Okay. And anything that she can give me, I can get myself. So I don't care, you know, about her money.
She told you. Okay. 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 What was I gonna, okay, because you said something earlier, you know, because I'm not writing down everything that I probably should be writing down that you're saying, so I can remember to come back there. You said that the reason why okay, let me go over here. You said that the reason why you said it's hard for you to just fall in love with people. Then you said that you were starting to see some signs with him and the family that was kind of like, okay, I don't know. What signs were those besides the whole drugs thing that you seen that you was like, I don't know if I really want to go there?
It's the baby mama, like I said. Okay. And then you know, things that go on in that household that I don't want to be involved with, and you know, it has to do with his family. But I don't know if we should go into that detail.
Okay.
Yeah. But I just didn't want to even be involved in that because that's not what I'm used to. I didn't move from Indiana to come into the situation, you know, that they had going on because it wasn't a stable situation. So,
so even though you said that Bryce proposed to you many times, said that you're gonna have his baby and y'all gonna get married and all of that stuff, did you want to have a baby? Like, were y'all trying to have a baby, or were you trying? He was trying, but were you trying?
You know what? I'm not going to say I wasn't trying, and I'm not going to say I was trying because it takes two people, you know, to make a baby. But you know, I have, you know, expressed to him that I was not ready to have another child right now. Like my oldest child is 13, you know, then my youngest is 8. Well, was my youngest, you know, and I just wasn't ready for that, you know, and I just feel like it was so quick. It happened so fast, you know. At first, you know, everything was like protection and things like that until they started getting to drunk nights and things like that. You know, you just have slip ups. So, you know, when I told him I was pregnant, he was excited. He came right to the hospital. I mean, I was actually sick in the hospital for 2 weeks, and they gave him a rollaway bed, and he laid next to my bed every single day while I was in there. I had to have 6 blood transfusions. He went and got me, you know, teddy bears, food, anything I wanted. But I was like really knocked out a lot while I was in the hospital. So he would always surprise me with flowers, things like that. He treated me very well. He did not leave that hospital unless he needed to go get something. So,
I mean, so it definitely sounds like that he was in love with you, or he definitely had some love for you. So basically what you're saying is from the time that you told him you was pregnant, he never once denied that, you know, denied the baby, questioned your pregnancy. Oh, that's not my baby. Never once. Did he
Never once has he denied my baby.
Okay, so basically, as far as you and Bryson goes, Bryson knows that Blaze is his son. There is no question. Has he ever questioned Blaze?
Never. I mean, he's posted a picture, you know, on his social media with holding my baby, you know, saying chilling with my youngest son, you know, until I go to work. Things like, you know.
Right here. Oh, look at the baby with them cheeks. Look at them cheeks. Okay, now didn't Blaze just turn 1 in October? This October?
Yes, he did.
Happy belated birthday, Blaze. Now, Blaze just turned 1 this October. When is the last time Bryce has seen Blaze? When is the last time Bryce has bought something for Blaze? Gave you some money for Blaze?
Bought something or given me money for him? Never.
Wow.
Never. Not even a bottle from Dollar Tree. Nothing. Never. Now, as far as seeing him, he In that picture, that was at my house. That was, you know,
Okay.
in my bedroom and everything. He was about 2 months old in that picture. But I have taken him, taken Blaze to see Bryce at, you know, wherever he was laying his head at that point in time. So, you know, his dad's house or his friend's house, whatever. So he's seen him. I think the last time he saw him was when he was, let's see, that he asked me for that money. I think that was in August. So I think last time we saw him was like June.
Okay, wait a minute. Wait a cotton picking minute. So you said the last time he seen Blaze was in June, but you said that you were the one that was taking Blaze to see him. So has he ever on his own came over to your house to come and see Blaze besides, this picture?
No, when I kicked him out, he has not. He has not been back over here because we're not together. So unless I tell him that we can be together, he won't come back over here.
I mean, good grief. I mean, it's always like that. You got to go above and beyond to make sure that you take the baby to see him instead of him trying to figure out some way to come over to see the baby himself. And I guess if he do want to see the baby, just like that screenshot that you had, funny, or something happened there. But I guess if he do want to see Blaze, then I guess you would have to send him gas money in order for him to see him. Is that
well? No, I think he was broke at that point in time and he wanted some money or he needed some money for whatever the situation was. But I don't know. I don't know why he asked me for the money or whatever. But like I told him, I said, I don't know why you're asking me for the money. I take care of the child that you don't take care of. Your mother, you know what I mean? And that's where people keep asking, why does NENE come into play? NENE's his mother. She's rich. Why are you asking me for money? You know what I mean? So go ask your mother.
Exactly. And come on now. I think anybody will say that. She would be like, oh, what you coming to me for? Don't your mama got some money? You better go to your mama and tell your mama to give you some money. And tell your mom, don't ask me for. Girl, anybody would say that. Anybody would look at him sideways. Yes. Let me ask you this. Was he there when you delivered Blaze?
No, he wasn't there. I don't even remember. I think he was at work. I don't remember exactly where he was that day. But he was not there when I delivered him. No.
What I do, because people was like, oh, she got 3 kids by 3 different men. But what I noticed about your children's ages is, like you said, your son is 13 years old. So this is 5 years later, that's when you had your daughter, because you said she's 8 years old, right? And then 7 years later, because you said you hadn't even planned on having any more kids, you didn't even think any more was going to happen. 7 years later, you end up having Blaze. So it's not like he was popping out every 2 years, every 1 years. And that's how people really trying to make it seem. But there is actually some type of gap in between your children.
Right.
Okay. Let me ask you this, just for the sake of people throwing it out there. So let me go ahead and ask you about it. So you have, so are you talking to your other children's fathers? Wait, did I do that?
I don't know what just happened.
Are you talking to your other children's fathers?
Well, my daughter's father, legally, he's not allowed to be around us, talk to us, anything. That's a legal case. A domestic and life or death type thing.
Okay.
He's not around. His family isn't around. And then my oldest son's father, she keeps calling. My oldest son's father, he doesn't do anything. I had my son when I was 14, so we were very young. He was 15 or 16 when I had my son. His parents are involved. My son's grandparents are very much involved. They send money and everything moves. They send money, they send clothes, they call, all that stuff. I mean, even for Blaze, they call him like, how's my grandbaby? They're in his life regardless if his dad is not. I mean, his dad was, incarcerated for about 6 years of my son's life. So they don't even have that connection, my son and his father. But his parents, they've been involved since he was 6 weeks old. They were at the hospital when he was born.
Okay. So those grandparents are involved.
Yes, very much. Yeah.
And then they're so involved, they even speak of Blaze.
Yes, Blaze and my daughter Beja. They call him like, "How's my grandson? How's my granddaughter?" Because Beja doesn't have her other side of the family either.
Okay.
But yeah, so they basically like take care, help you take care of all of them. I love them. I love them.
Okay, so then I guess now that kind of makes sense then why which a lot of people would, especially by NENE being a millionaire, question then why she isn't in Blaze's life, because you have a child, your son's father is not in his life, your oldest son father, but the grandparents is. So you done already seen how the father could not be involved, but the grandparents could be, and which I know some people like that too, who have children with the man. The man is not around, he won't do nothing, but that has absolutely nothing to do with the grandmother and the aunts and the uncles. They're still involved in the child's life despite the fact that the father isn't there. So what I wanted to ask you is, shoot, I almost lost my train of thought. My next question is, so for you, where does this whole NENE Leakes thing fall into place with this? So why did you, because people felt like, and I guess NENE too, after I was listening to the interview that you just did the other day, like, why are you bringing up my name? That's not my child. I didn't get you pregnant. So what's your whole thing on the reason why you was bringing up NENE name anyway?
Yeah, NENE is not a major she's not a major part of this, okay? She's a part of it because she's his grandmother. Regardless of what anybody says or how NENE feels, she's his grandmother, and that is Bryce's mother, which is my son's dad. So, I feel like I know Bryce is grown, okay, and he has made mistakes, and she claimed yesterday they have a regular mother and son relationship, so I just feel like, well, why is your son broke? Why is he not taking care of his child? Why are you enabling him? You're not, like telling him, look, why are you not taking care of your kids? So that is where NENE comes into it for me. Then she says she wants no parts of my child, my life. I don't care if she wants any parts of me. That does not bother me whatsoever, but I don't think a child should suffer because adults can't get along. So that is where the NENE comes in.
Do you think that Bryson is scared of his mom, or he tiptoes on his mom? Because my whole thing after, kind of listening to some interviews and listening to you talk and listen to all of that, I was kind of maybe getting the thought of, so you'll have to correct me because you definitely know better than I do. I was thinking that maybe Bryson doesn't have the best relationship with his mother, and he knows that, but he don't really want to do anything where she will totally dismiss him, because at the end of the day, she still got all that money, and that's his mom. So do you think that he's scared of her, or he'd be walking on eggshells with her? And I mean, like, what do you think about that, their relationship?
Definitely. He's mentioned to me plenty of times, oh, I know my mother, I know how she is, oh, I wouldn't do that, because my mom's mouth, or this and that, but it's always, anytime anything happens, it always falls back on his mom. He always says something about, oh, my mom, so that's where he has control, with this situation. Anything that really basically involves him, she's going to control it. He, like I said before, he's not offered, but he tried to get, us our own show last year.
Okay.
NENE, she snapped about that. I got an email, from her going off, which it doesn't bother me. Everybody says, oh, she went off on her last night, and she read her and stuff. NENE didn't read nothing. NENE didn't go off on anything. NENE doesn't want anybody else to speak, okay? Because NENE thinks she's the queen, okay? Right. But when it comes down to it, NENE knows the truth, okay? And Bryce knows the truth. Their relationship has been up and down for a long time.
Okay.
I think since I've known them, it was worse last year when she kicked him out. Now, she's kicked him out plenty of times, but my thing is, Bryce is almost 30 years old, okay? It's time to grow up and be a man, get out your mama's house, have a life for yourself, You know, stop being scared of what your mother is going to do and live your own life. You know, because at the end of the day, people, you know, are like, well, why is NENE's name brought up in your capture or whatever? Bryce is still considered NENE's son. If somebody else talks about him, if they don't put NENE's name on it, they're gonna be like, who is him? Who is he?
Exactly.
You know, so he is NENE Leakes' oldest son. You know, so
they have some serious issues that I know everybody out there that's watching this or that will be watching this. I mean, come on now, people, come on, like, stop playing games. How many times have we seen celebrities who have children and their children ain't doing nothing? Don't we question that? Don't we put a question mark on that? We like your mother and father, they celebrities, they actors or whatever they are, and then you see the child not doing nothing, and we sit up there and we question that. We like, you got all the opportunities in the world. We know that they got some connects, some money, so something, and you ain't doing nothing with that. And I feel like that means that there's a bigger issue. That there's a bigger issue, because how do you got the money? NENE Leakes got connections, and he's sitting up there doing drugs and drinking and living at home and asking you for money, can't take care of his child. That's how you know there's definitely some deeper things going on. Did NENE know she was pregnant?
She found out I was pregnant. I was a few months. The Super Bowl of what was that, 2017, where Falcons went to the Super Bowl.
Okay.
That's where she kind of assumed it, because I wasn't drinking liquor. And normally, you know, I drink. So yeah. So normally I drink, but Bryce was getting Sprite over and over, you know, and it kind of looked like, you know, vodka or something like that. And he was hovered over me the whole time at the party. Like, he was standing over me. So she was dancing around me, you know, coming around, just looking at me, you know, things like that. But she suspected it. But when he finally told her, he's the one that told her, you know, that's when she was just like, oh, she's stupid and and all this other stuff. But, you know, people ask, why did I have the baby? You know, me as a woman, I don't want to do it to my body, you know, and I can't live with myself if I killed my baby. That's just my mind state. Okay. If I know I'm pregnant and I go kill it or whatever. Now, a miscarriage is something completely different. Okay. Absolutely. But if I go pay money to take a baby out of my body, that's going to be stuck with me for the rest of my life, you know, regardless. So it is what it is, you know.
I mean, okay, you said, okay, considering the fact that you said that she was trying to figure out if you was pregnant, so why were y'all keeping it were y'all keeping it a secret? Did y'all not want to tell her the reason why you just didn't come out and, you know, he didn't bring you home and be like, Mom, Simone is pregnant? So why didn't it happen like that? Why was it kind of like a secret?
Well, it was more of my choice to be a secret with the world. You know, he did, I think his family knew before his mom. I can't really remember that. But when did she find out? I can't really remember exactly when she found out. But he knows his mom better than I do.
Okay.
And you know, he said there's a right time to tell her and there's a wrong time to tell her. Now, what I've noticed being around NENE, and she is more open and more fun and more like warm spirited, you know, just a happy person when she's drinking.
Okay.
When she's sober, she's a bitch. Okay.
All right. Yeah.
But when she's drinking, even if she's just at home in her basement at the bar having drinks, she's laughing, she's talking, you know, everything's cool. Okay. But when she's not, you don't want to talk to her. You don't want to tell her nothing, because that's when she just feels like, oh, it's just, you know, everything's hell.
And then you said, but when she did find out that night, you said that she was calling you stupid and everything, so she was upset about
it. Wait, say it again.
You said that when she did, or when you all did tell her on the night of the Super Bowl, she did find out, she was calling you stupid and she was upset.
Yeah. I recall her sending a message saying that, you know, I should get rid of my baby because clearly her son is on drugs and my baby's going to be a drug baby and I'm stupid and things like that. So He came out perfectly healthy.
And he's just a cutie pie too, with them cheeks and everything.
Thank you.
What I found a little bit interesting, especially now that you're talking about it again, is that you said that on the day of the party or whatever, she was dancing around you, so she knew you. She was dancing around you and stuff, and figuring out if that was your, trying to look at your stomach and stuff. So she knew about you. So you and Nene, y'all had conversations, y'all laughed and talked before. Because I heard in the other interview you said that y'all went out to eat and stuff like that. Y'all have conversations. Y'all sat down and talked and kikied and stuff together too. She knew you. She knew who Simone was.
Yes,
okay. I mean, right, because she definitely didn't say that in the interview. She said, "I don't know who you are."
I don't know you. I don't know you.
She said you wasn't memorable, because I wrote that down. She was like, she said something about it wasn't, like you wasn't memorable. But then in the same breath, she said that she remembered you being at Brent's party, because she remembered
what I had on.
You had on, right? And I'm like, I thought you said that she wasn't memorable, but you remember being at the party. You remember her shirt and all of that stuff. But she said that she didn't know you. So what else was I gonna ask? I have my whole sheet of my paper right here. So like, are you expecting? I mean, I think I already asked you this, but are you expecting Nene? So you don't want Nene to take care of the baby. You just want her to at least acknowledge Blaze. Just at least acknowledge him.
Right. She does. It's not about the money, and I think that's where people are pushing it. Is I'm looking for her money. I have my own money. I have 2 other children that have been well taken care of before Blaze. So it's not about the money, it's why can't you take him in? The same thing you do for Briasia, why can't you do it for Blaze? You don't, even if she doesn't want to call me to come get him, call Bryce. Call your son and be like, hey, I want to see my grandchild, but I don't want to talk to that B. Right. And Bryce be like, hey, my mom want to see Blaze. I'm about to come get him or whatever. And I'll be like, okay, that's fine. And we'll set up a time or whatever the situation may be. It's not about me. It's about Blaze, her, him, and their relationship.
And then, I don't know if everyone knows this, but Bryson has 5 children. Y'all saying he has 4 in the possible, and we're not even talking about Simone's son Blaze. Bryson has 3 boys and 2 daughters, but then y'all are kind of saying that he probably has 2 sons and 2 daughters, and that one of the sons is questionable. But then I don't even know if I can say that, because I found pictures on Bryson's Instagram page where he's spending time with all 3 of the kids. All 3 of the kids, minus yours.
3 of them. Well, because the other one lives in Alabama.
Which one? Marina's
child lives in Alabama.
Okay. But, now, does he see Marina's daughter? Isn't her name Bria? He doesn't see Bria?
No.
Yeah, because I actually found, and then this is what I did want to, oh my God, did I lose it? Because this is really what I did want to read, because I found some, I don't know, I just found this article to be pretty interesting that came from, do you mind if I read this, Simone?
Sure.
Okay. This article it was from February 11th, 2015. It says, and it's from Bossip.com, February of 2015. It's called Secret Seeds, NENE Leaks, Slizzard's son, Bryson. I didn't write it, they wrote it. NENE Slizzard's son, Bryson, has another child that she doesn't know about. And then this is what the article goes on to say. It goes on to say, if I can pull it up, then it like slightly disappears on me as soon as I'm getting ready to read it. It sure did. Isn't that something? It was up there the whole dang on time. It says, NENE Leakes' son has a lot more to worry about than his run-ins with the law. Bryson Bryant, frequent legal issues have resulted in fines and jail time, and now his ex-girlfriend claims he's also been he's also hasn't been doing his fatherly duties to his infant daughter, and this is via Radar Online reports. This is what the baby mama said. It's just a sad situation. Brian's ex, Marina Robinson, told Radar. Leaks publicly announced she was a grandmother for the first time in 2012 after Bryant and his current girlfriend, Ashley Hill, had their first child, Breasia. But little did fans know that the reality star has another grandchild who she's allegedly never seen. Robinson claims she and Brian started dating after meeting at an Atlanta club in 2012, and in early 2013, she got pregnant. After that, things went downhill. This is what she's saying. I was back and forth from Mobile, Alabama to Atlanta, Georgia, in between my doctor appointments, but he wasn't there for her birth in October 2013, she claims, and NENE didn't know I was pregnant. He, Bryson, didn't want me to tell her. Just like how Simone mentioned that Bryson was like, there's a good time and a bad time. So make sure that you. So then she goes on to say, I immediately went down. No, she said, oh, but the 47-year-old reality star found out the shocking news when her eldest son, Bryson, was charged with DUI after totaling his car in June 2013. And Robinson and the Real Housewives of Atlanta star met at the hospital. I immediately went down there and I was 6 months pregnant, and she knew, said Robinson, but the Real Housewives of Atlanta diva bedside manner was less than warm, according to Robinson. Then when I get to Atlanta, she said only family could visit him. It was uncomfortable for me. She had attitude. She tried to disrespect me, disown me, she added. She was pretty much like, you're not part of the family. There was a lot of shade being thrown, but Bria isn't, and that is Marina's baby girl and Bryson's. But Bria isn't the only little mouth to feed in the expanding Bryant family. Then it goes on to say, since Bryant has had his first daughter nearly 3 years ago, remember this was 2015, Robinson says his family has grown exponentially with 2 more sons who he shares with his girlfriend, Ashley. Did y'all know him and Ashley had 3 kids? Because NENE keeps talking about Breasia, but did you know that him and Ashley have 3, supposed to be a son and 2 daughters? Let me go on and tell you what else to say. It says, Robinson said that, no. It says Braden, born in April 2013, and another boy named Little Benny, who was born just a couple of months ago in November 2015, while the father of 4 was serving 3 months behind bars. What killed me was NENE accepted Braden, and she's helped out with all of them, but she's not helping out with Bria. Damn near the same thing that Simone is saying. In fact, to settle any question of paternity, Robinson says she agreed to a DNA test, but Bryant hasn't followed through. This is what now Marina is saying. NENE wanted a DNA test, just like they're trying to do with Simone, even though Bryson isn't denying anything, but nothing has been done. She said, I wanted one done, period. So we wouldn't go through it again, but they keep pushing it back and not pursuing it. So Robinson says she's been waiting patiently for Brian's frequent broken promises for financial help to come into play. Bryson's ex says NENE financially supports his other children, but refuses to acknowledge his child. This is what Marina says. NENE pays for everything. She's Bryson's caretaker. That's why I'm harder on her, because she's the only one who's taking care of a 26-year-old man who's not taking care of his kids, especially his 4th kid. I think it's her responsibility, Robinson added of Leaks, if she's going to give him all the money to live off of. Robinson says she's at her wit's ends, especially after reaching out to the Cinderella star. So I guess this is back when he was doing that Broadway thing. I text her the same thing Simone is saying, people. Are you paying attention to the I text her and asked her to call me, but she hasn't called me back. I really feel like she doesn't care. She spoils all of them, but does nothing for Bria. At this point, she plans to have it all in the hands of the legal system. I plan on going to court for child support. I'm taking bigger measures to get something done. I didn't want to, but they're bagging me up against the wall. I don't know what else to do. I don't want anything from them. I've tried my hardest. It hurts me to know they're doing this to my daughter. I want NENE to be in Bria's life. I didn't grow up without my grandparents, and I don't want that for her. Isn't that the same thing, damn near, that you done just said to me, Simone? It's practically some of the same things.
Right.
How do you feel about hearing about this and some of the similarities, listening to her story about how NENE don't want to see Bria, don't want to have anything to do with her, just like how she's doing Blaze?
You know, I mean, I feel bad for her, you know, because I mean, of course, we're in the same situation, you know, but like I stated before, I didn't even know he had a child by her. You know, I didn't know he had 4 kids, you know, other than Briasia. He didn't tell me that until I done moved to Georgia, you know, and I was asking about Briasia and things like that. And, you know, then all of a sudden, you know, Ashley's come, you know, calling my phone, and they have 3 kids together. And I'm like, oh, wait. Then Marina starts calling my phone, you know, and she's like, I have like our daughter by him. And I'm like, you got 4 kids? You know, so nobody even knew, including myself. Okay, like I said, he hasn't been on TV in years. In years. You know, the only way anybody would know he has other kids is if, you know, they're like in the family, or there's like an inside scoop that they know, something like that. But I'm not the one to read up on the internet about celebrity families. I don't do all that.
Right. So are you going to file for child support, or have you filed for child support, or how are you going to handle this whole thing with Bryson?
Yeah, I've already filed for child support. I filed back in May for child support.
Is he working?
You know, he was basically homeless after I kicked him out. Well, NENE kicked him out first, and then I kicked him out of my house. So he was homeless, couch to couch. So they couldn't serve him because they couldn't find him.
Okay.
But I mean, now we know where he's at. NENE confirmed that last night in another interview. So I did call child support, and he has to go to court, you know, the end of this month. So.
Oh, okay. Okay. So you done already got that going and stuff already. Okay. Well, that's good. Is he working?
Yeah, he's working at UPS right now.
Okay. Now let me just throw out different things to you, and I'm gonna have to come back to something else. Okay. Are you on public assistance? Because people said that you were on public aid. So do you get public aid? You
What's
get
public aid?
Food stamps, the link.
Oh no.
Okay, you're not on that. People were saying that you are on Section 8. You're on government assistance. They pay for your home and stuff like that. Are you on that?
No.
Do you have a job?
I have my own business.
Girl, what? You got your own business?
Yes.
What do you do with your business?
I'm an interior designer, and I've been doing that since I was in Indiana.
Okay.
I started off teaching. I was in Indiana. I was a teacher at kindergarten. Yeah. And then I decided, you know, I like designing. I like, you know, decorating inside. My house has always been pretty. My mom said it all the time. I do my parents' house, and I just started my own interior design. And I want to start my own nail salon. So,
girl,
I'm thinking about doing that as well.
You better do it. You better do all that you can do. Get it in, girl. So are you so do you live with your mom, or because
no.
You live with your mom?
I can't live with my parents.
What you say?
I cannot live with my parents. I'm 27 years old with 3 kids. I cannot live with my parents. No, I have my own.
Hey, girl, look, I don't blame you. I definitely don't blame you. My other thing. So, are you? Were you contacting all the media sites?
What was I? What?
Get that from Simone? Like, why is everyone saying that you were you know, because I asked you this yesterday. I was like, where are they getting this from? That you contacting all these blog and medias? Have you?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. Everybody that I have spoke with has contacted me, you know, and whether I need to show proof of that too, since everybody thinks I don't have receipts of things, you know, people have contacted me. I have not reached out to any blogs for anything. What I did was post that one posting, okay? That one posting about reality TV. Somebody took it, and next thing you know, it was all over the blogs. Okay. The only person that I did send something to was Michelle. Because Michelle posted, if anybody knows anything about her, she is from straight from the A.
Right.
Yeah. So she posted something, that was very disrespectful, and I don't know her, never met her. And I reached out to her and said, I don't appreciate it. If you would like to speak with me about my situation, then do so. Don't just post things because you're making an assumption. Now comments on my page and things like that, of course people are going to make a narrative about your life, but don't disrespect me about it. Like the way she went about it. I don't know if anybody else has watched Straight from the A video a couple days ago, not last night, but a couple days ago. I mean, it was just absolutely ridiculous. So I did reach out to her and tell her, stop talking about me. That is she got a cease to desist. Because she don't know me. She has nothing on me. She has no receipts unless she's taking it from, other people's pages or whatever, or blogs or whatever. But that was about it. Anybody else I have not reached out to. People say I reached out to BET. Like, why would I call BET? NENE don't even have nothing to do with BET. What am I going to call them for?
Right.
So, no,
Well,
I haven't reached out to nobody.
Thank you for clarifying that, because I had to do, when I interview people, I don't like to watch other people interviews, but
Yeah.
I kind of had no choice with the interview that you did the other day, just because I didn't know that you were going to do that interview. Not that I have a problem with, you can, like whatever, because you're trying to get your story out. So like whatever. But
Right.
happened to come across the interview, and when I watched it, I was kind of on the side, like cringing a little bit. So I wanted to make some clarifications with some things, because you said right now that you have reached out to Michelle, straight from the A, but you said that you reached out to her twice. You said the first time wasn't a reaching out to her like, yeah, can you do my story? It was basically you saying, I don't like the way that you said that, and if you really want to get the story, just ask myself. So that was the first time, right? And then, because I was doing a little bit more research this morning just to see was there anything out there going around that I needed to know about, and I seen Michelle mention that she said that you emailed her again yesterday. Now, when she said that, she kind of left it at that. She said that she done reached out to me again. So it would appear as if you had reached out to her the first time because you wanted her to interview or something, and then you reached out to her again a second time for possibly an interview. But you're saying no, the first time was to say, that's not true. If you want to talk to me, ask me. And the second time you reached out to her yesterday was for what?
To tell her to stop talking about me because of the interview that she had with NENE that I had no clue about.
So you said you sent her a cease and desist?
Yes. So that's what she got yesterday.
Okay,
cease to desist.
So it wasn't just an email. It was your attorney sent her a cease and desist. Well, thank you for clarifying that. That needed to be clarified. So it does, because they are, girl, everyone is saying that you're going around to the blogs, and I'm like, what in the world are the blogs? Okay, so let me ask you about this then. So because I did see that you had commented or something in Radar Online. So how did you, what did you contact Radar Online? Did they contact you? So how did that happen?
Radar Online contacted me as well. They were actually the first ones that contacted me. The first person ever to contact me. They actually DM'd me on Instagram and sent me an email. Very eager to speak to me. And I took a while to contact them back because when this all came out, like I was literally waking up every day to see my picture all over the internet. So I spoke with my mom. I'm like, people are contacting me, to talk to me. And she was like, well, see what they want to talk about, things like that. So, excuse me, I did contact them back. I spoke with the man, and he said he wanted to do an interview and he wanted to do a phone interview. Now, just like I asked you, I'm kind of hesitant about phone interviews because I don't want my words twisted or things added or not added in, things like that. Absolutely. So that's how the Radar Online came about.
Okay. Now, let me go back to something that you said earlier, because I don't think that I questioned you enough about that, was the reality show thing. You said that Bryson brought that to you. So Who idea was it? Who was the first one to ever mention anything about y'all doing a reality show?
Who was the first one?
Yeah, was it you
Bri-
that mentioned it? Or
Bryce brought the reality show. Bryce brought the reality. Who was that? Bryce brought the reality show to me last year. And then that's when there's a email that Armand posted yesterday on his show.
Okay.
That NENE sent to me. Going off because she was mad about the situation. But he did bring it to me. He said, babe, whatever you want, whatever makes you happy. If you want to be a reality TV show, then let's make it happen. But he didn't want to be on it. Last year, he even said that as well. He said, I don't want to be on it. I'll just sit back and let you do it, Bryce, I think, he tries to be how Greg is with his mother. He's been around that so long. I think that's what he's trying to do, is basically be like the background, like Greg is with NENE.
Okay.
And being around them, Greg, he worships NENE. He does everything for her, and I respect him so much for the way that he is. But Bryce is the one that brought it up last year. Okay, and then it died down, of course. Nobody even knew about me. I've been around for 2 years. Nobody knew about me. I could have come out a long time ago if that was the case. I was opportunist. But it didn't all come out until, after, I think a post I made back in August that you spoke about, it was like released on a blog a long time ago, like a month or so ago, but it diffused. It didn't go anywhere, and I was like, okay, that didn't go anywhere. I think it was the video that I had posted of my son. We video called Bryce, and my son was saying dad.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah. I think that was the video that was like released or something like that. And then that diffused. That didn't go anywhere. So somebody hit me in my DM, and then I also got an email, and they were talking about 2 reality shows. Now I can't speak of the reality shows because it's, legal situation. There's no contract signed or anything like that. So I want to verify that, because people are saying that I said there's a contract. There is no contract that has been signed or anything. Now I never stated what show contacted me, who contacted me, anything, because I'm not supposed to. Okay. But when I posted that, I had already spoke to Bryce before I even posted that on social media. Okay. And Bryce had told me no, because he didn't want me to embarrass him he knows that I have things, to say because we broke up. He's not taking care of his child. He got back on drugs. He don't want me to say all that stuff. Okay. He don't want to be out there like that he's a bum, basically. So that's what I meant by he didn't want me to embarrass his ass, okay? And people are saying, well, why would you embarrass him and you guys are together? We're not together, okay? We're not together, people. But he was the first one to bring that about.
Okay. So so was that a conversation because you said that he was like, babe, whatever you want, I'll sit in the background. So was that a conversation that you and him had prior, that you was like that it would probably be cool to have a reality show or something? And then he was like, hey, whatever you want, but I'll be in the background. So is that
that was last year.
Okay.
That was 2017.
Okay. How do your family feel about this whole situation, your mom and stuff?
Well, my dad is a nut. Okay. He's met Bryce and everything. Actually him and Bryce got along. They were talking about going to gun range. They go golfing. Bryce has gone out with my parents. We've gone to Top Golf. We've gone golfing. My dad, he's obsessed with guns. So, he goes to the gun range. Yeah, he has a whole closet full of different guns. So he goes to the gun range and things like that. They got along, just fine. My brother, I have a younger brother, he's 25. They got along. He's gone out to the club with us. Bryce is gone with us, everything like that. My mom, when I first moved here, Bryce was staying at my mother's house. Okay. I was living with my mom when I first moved here, and then I moved out on my own. Of course, I didn't know anything about Georgia when I first moved here. Okay. So it got to a point where my mom said he had to go because all he was doing was laying around on the couch. He would go outside, smoke a cigarette, come back and just lay around on the couch. And my mom works, she's a realtor. She doesn't want to come home and seeing this big ass 300-pound boy, just flopped on her couch,
Right.
like that. After she done worked all day. So yeah, he knows my family, my kids have been around NENE. She keeps calling my daughter Briasia because my daughter's name is Beja, so she gets them confused. But my kids have met NENE, they've been around NENE, so my family, now the situation has changed. My dad is like, oh, forget Bryce, he's a bum. My dad doesn't respect any man that doesn't take care of his kids or his responsibility, period. So, he's like, I don't want to see him unless he's going to take care of, Blaze and things like that. My mom, she's okay with this story, coming out. She feels like it needs to be out, because my truth needs to be heard regardless of what people say. No, it really takes somebody that knows your situation, that has been through it, to really understand it. There are people that are NENE fans and they're going to kiss NENE's ass regardless, but nobody's perfect is what I'm gonna say. No one's perfect. Everybody has a situation that they have gone through. Okay. It just so happened that I'm going through it with a famous family. You know what I mean? Now, if it was a different family, I would still blast my baby daddy. I mean, my son's dad, I talk about him all the time. Okay, but it's to the point where I stopped because his parents are in my son's life. So I don't want to do that to them. Right. That's disrespectful to them because they do help and they are around. Whereas Bryce, his mama ain't around at all. He ain't around. So why should I care? I've given them plenty of opportunity. My son is 1 and this is just now coming out. Yeah. I've given them plenty of opportunity. I've sent NENE pictures of my son, everything like that, a year to basically say, hey, what's up? But NENE told Bryce not to tell me to not contact her anymore. And I did it. I did it. So that was it. Now it's out because, I got mad at Bryce and people keep saying, why is NENE involved? Like I stated before, and I stated earlier in this video, why NENE is involved, So it's really not all about NENE, and I wish people would quit making it that.
I mean, look, I agree with you. I'll get into that a little bit later, but let me ask you, okay, your mom and dad is in your life. They're in your life. Your mom and dad, are they still married? Are they together?
I'm calling while I'm on this video right now. I keep ignoring their call.
Oh, okay. Well,
they'll be all right.
Okay, so they're together.
No, oh no, my parents. They're in your. Okay. No, my brother. I actually have 2 older siblings, a brother and a sister. My sister lives in Indiana, from where I'm from, and then my older brother, he lives in New York. Okay. And then I have a younger brother by my mother. My older 2 brother and sister are by a different mother. But my younger brother, we had the same mother, and he lives in Sacramento. He's a sports agent for basketball. Yeah. So he lives in Sacramento. His friend, one of his best friends, is on Sacramento team, the king, I don't know, basketball, whatever the Sacramento team is. So he's his agent out there. But it's, my family is my support system, I should say.
Thank God for the family and thank God for mama. Thank God for you. You go, girl. We don't give a dang about no NENE leaks and all this celebrity stuff. Go out there and speak your truth, because I know your mom got to be frustrated with the situation that they kind of let Bryson in, and then to see him just abandon the baby like that. That's what. But let me ask you this question, and I actually personally feel like you are taking accountability, and I feel this way for a lot of single mothers, because I think sometimes we get into relationships in the hopes that things is going to be one way. You know, we like the person, we spending time together, whether you plan to have a baby or not, you know, things happen, but you don't never really think that the relationship is going to go south. But usually when it do go south and there's a baby involved, 9 times or damn near 9.9 times out of 10, the baby always go home with the mom. So the dad always got free time. So when it comes to taking accountability, the mother really has no choice but to take accountability on what she did by possibly getting with this guy and maybe rushing into a relationship or rushing to have a baby. You have to sit there and think about that all the time because you're sitting up there taking care of the baby by yourself. He ain't there.
Yep.
You do everything. So it's so you're constantly being reminded of what happened because you're there,
Right.
being a single parent. But just for the sake of asking you, because people may want to know, are you taking accountability for the part that you played in this relationship? And I guess Bryson not being there or whatever the case may be. Are you taking accountability? Whatever.
I take accountability. You know, I'm mean to Bryce. I am. I'm not gonna lie. I am so mean to Bryce. Okay, but I feel like I have a right to be mean to him because I'm taking care of a child that he's not helping with, that he helped make. So, you know, he tells me all the time, he was like, he'll call me and say he loved me, and then I'll be like, F you, you know, and he'd be like, whatever, and hang up, and then I won't hear from him for like weeks, you know. But I'm mean to him, but I do take accountability, you know. He's saying that he's hurt, we're not together. I'm sorry, you know, but I'm not going to be with you just for you to take care of your child. So, I mean, I'm sorry for my part. If I play a part in, I don't know really what I played a part in, but
I guess played a part in sex and making the baby because you know.
I mean that I did play. You know, I played a part in. You know, maybe I shouldn't have talked to Bryce, or maybe we shouldn't have, you know, had sex or whatever. You know, people.
Signs, I guess when you seen him being lazy, I guess people would say that when you seen Bryce being lazy or he wasn't doing so much, that should have been a sign to leave. But sometimes I don't know why people act like that every relationship is perfect and you know exactly what to do. You catch all the signs, you see stuff, and you be like, no, I'm running. It don't always people. Come on now, stop playing games. Y'all perfect. Don't tell me that you got all your kids, if you have children, all by the same man, because it couldn't possibly happen. Because let me tell you something. While you're sitting up here talking about Simone got 3 kids by different men, by 3 different men, remember NENE has 2 children by 2 different. What is you talking about? She got 2 baby daddies. Did y'all not know she got 2 baby daddies? Y'all
she's had an abortion. I mean, yeah. I mean, NENE's gone through it.
Come on now. I mean, and I have a thing that I'm going to read after Simone is gone. Let's go break down a little bit more things that NENE has said or done that kind of like, you know. So, but yeah, I guess take accountability for having sex and having a baby. But you said that you done took accountability for that and stuff. Okay, well, how do you feel is there anything else that you wanted to say or mention? Because I was going to ask you about your interview that you did the other day. Was there anything about that interview that you wanted to say that you didn't necessarily care for or whatever the case may be? I mean, but that's up to you if you wanted to that.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to say, you know, people call NENE a queen, you know, and they, you know, say she's a boss, you know, and all this stuff. Okay, NENE's rich, you know. NENE started the Housewives of Atlanta. Okay, that is true. But you guys have to also remember, NENE didn't come from this either. Okay, she started, you know, off as stripping and things, you know, and this is public information. You know, Greg got her where she is at. Okay, he was her ticket. So she had a baby by Greg. Okay. Now, why is it bad? I have my own. Okay. I have my own before Bryce was even in the picture. Okay. So why am I looked at bad? Because I had a baby by somebody whose mother is rich. Okay. You know, I mean, that's just what I say to the public. Why am I looked like bad like that. You know, I'm not from the hood. I'm not from the ghetto. I have my own. Obviously, I'm doing my own thing, you know, without her money. So, you know, that's just what I say to people. Now, as far as the Armand show yesterday, that was a mess. Okay. Now don't get me wrong, it was fun. I had fun. I had laughs, you know, but nobody expected for NENE, Bryce, her assistant, this random dude. I mean, all these people popped up on this show. Okay. And it just turned into a mess. Okay. Now I had to laugh about it, you know, because it was unexpected. It turned into a 6-hour show. It was supposed to be an hour, and it turned into 6 hours, 2 parts. Okay. I was exhausted after that. I was exhausted. But you know, when NENE came on, you know, called in, her story changed 3 or 4 times if anybody watched it. Okay. She said she didn't know me. Then she said she didn't write the emails. Then she said she seen me, but I wasn't memorable. But then she explained every outfit that I had on. Then she said, you know, I don't watch your page. I don't care what you do. But then said that I've seen your page and you posted pictures inside my house. You know, her story has changed so many times. But if anybody believes that NENE don't know me, you have got to be out of your mind. You know, I mean, it don't take a rocket scientist, you know, to see that. You know, she said that her son has many women, and, you know, I don't get into all the problems with his women. Well, first of all, your son doesn't bring all his women to your house. Okay. You live in a gated community. You know when I'm coming in that gate. Okay. They call you and tell you, hey, Simone is at the gate, and she'll be like, let her through. Okay. So you can't sit here and deny that you know who I am, you know, and I'm not just any female that your son has messed with. I have a child with your son, okay? And we know what's going on, okay? Now, the DNA test thing, I have already signed papers to get this DNA test. I've been waiting for him to go get his mouth swabbed. He refuses to do the DNA test because he says that the baby is his. Now, if that's like a 2 parents, you know, like my parents, you know, my dad knows that me and my brother are his kids. He don't want a DNA test. So why should that be a problem? You know, now if NENE want a DNA test, she needs to talk that up with her son, you know, because the papers have already been signed on my end, you know, but, you know, people they just see NENE's side of it, that she's being rich and that I'm an opportunist. And I just want to get that out there that I do not care about that woman's money. Okay, not at all. I didn't lay on my back to get where I'm at. I was born in it. My parents have their own, they have their own businesses. Yeah. So.
I wasn't gonna read this now, but I have to read this now. I mean, like, you're gonna put me up against the wall, Simone. So I have no choice to read this. First of all, there is a reason why in my title for this interview I did not put allege that alleged father, the alleged. I didn't do that. And the reason why I did not do that really is because not only has Bryson taken pictures with Simone while she was pregnant, then I just showed you the picture that Bryson took with his son. And matter of fact, on this picture, it says, Bryson says, kicking it with my youngest till I go to work. Okay. But I also noticed that when Bryson called on Armand's interview, that was only, you know, he only was on there for what, about 10 seconds or whatever. When he said to don't speak about my mom, I noticed that that's all he said. He didn't say that ain't my baby or don't be talking about that's my baby. So I'm like, okay, so he knows that this is his child. So there's no reason to allege anything. But I seen this. Do you have time, Simone, or not? Because then I can wait to do this later and then I can let you out.
Oh, no, you're fine. Yeah, okay. He wanted some food.
Because I definitely don't want to hold you up, but I don't even remember where I got this article from, but I can definitely figure it out. But it says, wait, is this the one that I wanted to read about the things? And yep, this is the one. It says NENE Leakes is opening up about her stripper past. It says NENE Leakes had just ended her relationship with the father of her eldest son, Bryce, and was living with her son and a roommate named Genesis, a close friend who Leakes had modeled with for years. It says Leakes would spend years working as a stripper, who wrote about the experience in her 2009 memoir, Never Make the Same Mistake Twice. And then she goes on to say that she couldn't pay her rent. That 1 month, her and her roommate couldn't pay the rent. So then they started looking around and they found out about this new modeling agency called Atlanta's Gold Club, which was a prominent, gentleman's club. And then NENE basically said, I felt powerful in front of these men. Now remember, this is a young NENE. I felt powerful in front of these men. They were obviously there to see what I had. And I quickly realized that those men weren't there to just make me feel whatever. It said eventually Leakes met her now husband, Greg, who persuaded her to stop dancing. And this is what NENE says. He was good to me. Hollywood soon came calling, and after a few guest roles on The Game and The Parkers and The Real Housewives, then her money and stuff went up. It says NENE also shared that she received the best financial advice from her aunt, because remember, NENE was not raised by her mother and father. She said that her and her brother, if I'm not mistaken, was sent to go live with her aunt. Okay, she said NENE was shared that she received the best financial advice from her aunt, who raised her. Her aunt said to buy something for yourself out of every paycheck, as well as to date up. Don't be worried that people will call you a gold digger. NENE said you should dig for gold. I was like, ain't this about a blimp? So you shouldn't say that anybody is trying to do anything, because I guess that's you. And then I read a few things where she was basically saying that Greg took care of her. He basically came and rescued her out of her stripper situation. Now, what I found interesting in that is when Greg was, when he was stripping, or when she was struggling, or when she was in this abusive relationship, how old was Bryson? Because remember, Bryson is the first child. He's seen everything. Brent, the youngest, right, he came later on, people. He came later. And by the time he came, NENE was established. Now she's married. And then based on the things that I read about Greg, and we love Greg, don't we all love Greg? Sorry that Greg is going through the things that he's going through, because he seems to be a sweetheart. It says Greg was a real estate investor and consultant who gained exposure thanks to his wife. But it said before his fame, he had several children from a previous relationship before meeting NENE in 96. And then him and NENE married in 97. And then they had their son, Brent. But he already had 5 other children, because he got a set of twins and 3 other kids. So, but I was just like, so when they met in 97, because how old is Brent? I mean,
Brent's he's 19, about to be 20.
And Bryson is, how old is Bryson? Bryson was
29 December.
Okay, 89. So when she married Greg, I think he was 9 years old. And if I'm not mistaken, NENE got arrested, because I seen that video where NENE was on the Housewives, and she was upset at Bryson because I think he had got arrested or something. And she was saying, I did the best that I could, and I don't know why you doing all of this, and woo, 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 but the apple don't fall too far from the tree, people. NENE has 3.
Yeah, she has a record as well. She was stealing telephone service.
3 of them. And it says she went to jail. It says she went to jail. No, this is not hers. This is somebody else's. It says she went to jail, and she went to jail in 92 when she was 25 years old. And I think at that time, Bryson was, I think, 5 years old, or 5 or 6 years old. So I think that he has just seen a lot and dealt with a lot. And Brent may be her favorite child, or done did some of the most wonderfulest things, because he, like he done seen a real family situation. But Bryson was there when his mama was stripping, when she was going to jail, them 3 times that she got them mug shots, when she was dealing with the abusive relationship that she was going through with his father, that she talks about, that I'll be discussing later. But
her aunt raised him, basically. NENE's aunt basically raised Bryce.
girl, are you serious?
Yeah.
I'm wondering about that.
Yeah,
Okay.
the aunt that raised NENE basically is the aunt that raised Bryce. While NENE was doing what she was doing, you know, trying to get her money and things like that, Bryce was staying at her aunt's house.
Okay, I knew it. I knew it. I knew it was more to the story with Bryson. That's why. Let me explain something to y'all.
Sure.
Right. I'm gonna jump off Simone's story. Just to tell you my story just a little bit. My mother had me when she was 16. I had, and I'm my mother's oldest child. I had my oldest daughter when I was 17. My oldest daughter had her oldest child, her only child right now, at 18, 16, 17, 18. Why, people? Because at the end of the day, the apple don't fall too far from the tree. Now, I gave my mother a hard time. There's only natural karma come back for me. So then I have my first child, my daughter. She gets teenage age. She's literally driving me crazy, dealing with these boys and these other things. Now I'm talking to her, 16, 17 years old. Why are you doing this? This don't make no sense. You know better. I done taught you better. Woo, woo, woo. Because now I'm grown. I'm not doing the things that I did back in the day. I'm grown. I got a house. I'm trying to raise a family. I got a business. I'm trying to do the right thing. And I'm sitting up there lecturing her, and I don't understand, and I don't understand. But at the end of the day, people, when I got done yelling at my daughter and I had to sit down by myself and think, I knew exactly what I was coming from. First thing I would say to myself is, wow, is this what I put my mother through? Is this that karma that my mom said that I was going to get back? So when my daughter got pregnant at 18 years old, even though I was shocked and hurt, I love my granddaughter now, but at the time, shocked and hurt, man, nothing but be like, man, she's me. And when they do it 10 times worse than you do it. Right. Nothing compared to what my daughter did to me, people. I'm just trying to let you know. So this whole situation with Bryson, you have to know that there is something going on, that the apple don't fall too far from the tree. She's sitting up there complaining about her son. Well, I don't understand. Why are you sitting up here getting in trouble? Girl, your son got 4 mug shots, but boo-boo, you got 3. Your son is, seems like that something is wrong. Because why would his mama be a rich millionaire on TV, celebrity, all the opportunities, and he's sitting up there doing drugs? What has this boy went through in his life and experience that NENE is not sitting up there talking about? And then you can tell just with that interview that Simone did on the Armand show when NENE came on there. I will never. And you, you never. And then, like, what's the attitude? Like, what? I mean, lady, bring it down some. And then, I don't know. And then talking about her son, well, because my son, he brings about all of these women, and he just be. And you okay with that? I have a 13-year-old son. Simone said that she got a 13-year-old son. Yeah. Let my son, at that time when he get ready to start dating or whatever, let him sit up there and go. First of all, you ain't finna be sitting up here bringing all these shit, because be respectful.
Right.
First of all, you got to teach your sons to be respectful to women, first and foremost. But let's say that my son do some crazy stuff, just because sometimes the apple don't fall too far from the tree, and he end up sitting up there getting somebody pregnant, you can bet your last dollar Genevas not finna sit up there and pacify that situation. Son, you taking care of this child? You ain't taking care of this child. You better be doing what you're supposed to do. I didn't raise you to be that way. And do you know why I would do that? Because I know what it feels like to be a single mother, first and foremost. So I know what that girl is going through with my son not taking care of her like he's supposed to. So you would think, because NENE was a single parent out there stripping on a pole, couldn't get her life together until Greg came in and rescued her, because he really did come in like a knight in shining armor and said, girl, get yourself off that pole and let me take care of you right quick. Yes. He came in there and took care of her, and then her life got better. But I mean, I guess she's oblivious of that because she's rich now. So now it's just, I will never come. Well, how could you be like that with a baby? What did Blaze do?
Right.
What did he do? I know you feel like, NENE, that you did all that you could, but sometimes, boo-boo, all that you could is not good enough. Right. Sometimes you're going to have to sit back and be like, I know that Bryson is a grown man. and he's gonna have to accept responsibility. The thing that Bryson doesn't understand, that he will understand, is that he's gonna get his karma back for sitting up here doing the things that he's doing to his mother, driving her crazy, not being there for his kids and his baby mamas. He gonna get his karma back, but NENE, you can't do the things that you done did in the past and then decide that you got grown, you got married, you done settled, you got your money and stuff, and think life is, everything is going to be roses, because karma will sneak up on you when you least expect it. Just because you got saved and got married and everyone done settled down, you think that it can't happen. It happens. It comes back.
It does.
Yeah, and that's basically what I want to say on that part. I just wanted to let Simone know that, Simone, I got your back. A lot of people seem like they don't understand. They like cloud chasing. Look, if one of my children, because some of my kids' fathers isn't there either, and if one of their grandparents or somebody was rich, I probably would go on the blogs too and go on there and be like, and then put that parent or whatever, the rich parent name up there, just so I can get some attention for that. I mean, I really didn't see anything that she done wrong. All you got to do is pay attention to Simone's timeline. She had a baby last year in October. If she wanted to blast this man, she could have did it a long time ago.
Long time ago, exactly.
She said she broke up with him when she was 4 months pregnant. So from that time to the time she had Blaze, she could have blasted him. Then she was posting pictures of her and Bryce back in May of this year. She didn't blast him. Then even when she put the screenshot, because she was irritated. He ain't came to see his baby, but he's sitting up there asking her, can she send him some money? So she got mad. She went on social media and she posted it. But even with that, people were questioning her about it. She said, there's nothing to say. There's nothing to say. Then in October, she got irritated and said, nah, I got something to say. How the hell is that cloud chaser? She been knowing this guy. Y'all need to do your research a little bit better. You need to stop jumping on the NENE Leakes bandwagon, because at the end of the day, NENE is a celebrity.
Right.
What makes her a celebrity? That she's on TV and she get paid good money, and she can probably afford things that most of us can't afford. Other than that, she bleeds, vomits, poops, cry, makes mistakes, and do everything just like she's a person. Get up off of the whole NENE Leakes fan thing, because at the end of the day, you don't know this lady. She's on reality TV. What we had needed to do was be quiet for a minute and listen to what Simone had to say, because we don't know NENE. All we know is NENE reality TV, and even the NENE reality TV is annoying, personally, if you ask me. I've never been a fan of her. I think she's loud, arrogant. She talks too damn much. I've never really been a fan of hers. So all we needed to do was be quiet for a little bit, because somebody who actually did know her, Simone, was giving us information that we had not known. And for me, when I heard it, all it made me do was go and do my research. So I appreciate you, Simone, because now I understand a little bit better on what was going on with this whole story. So I really do appreciate you for that.
Okay.
I appreciate you for speaking your truth, even though she is who she is, because that's neither here nor there. You still need to say what you got to say.
Yeah, right. I mean, nobody would even know if I didn't say anything. Nobody would even know about my son. I mean, he would still have. I mean, this obviously caught her attention. I mean, that interview lasted. Well, it caught her attention before then, because she blocked me on social media. I mean, she told Bryce to block me. But on Instagram, not phone calls.
When's the last time have you talked to Bryce on the phone, or y'all talked or whatever?
Yesterday.
Okay, and what is he talking about? Like, is he talking about
yesterday? He was talking about the interview, but previously, like, he hides in the bathroom if his mom around or something, like at home or something, because her house echoes. It's all basically ceramic, so her house echoes. You can hear everything. So he'll go in the bathroom and close the door, and he'll talk to me. Like I said, why are you in the bathroom? He was like, so I can talk to you. I can't talk to you. So I already know that she told him he can't talk to me. But it's I
mean, but that's weird. Okay. I get her blocking you on Instagram, but he blocked you on. I mean, like, why the hell did he block you on Instagram? And he's still
talking to. And he.
Girl, are you serious?
Yes. And my thing is, I have a child by him. Regardless of me and your situation, I have a child by him. And you're telling this man to stop talking to me. I mean, even before, saying this stuff came out, she was mad. She told him, if you link with her, you better do it away from my gates. I mean, yeah. So
okay. I'm understanding it a little better. You almost feel like you need to go after NENE since she the whole one dictating this whole thing. And maybe if you can something with her, then maybe he'll snap. I mean, it's the exact same thing that Marina said, because Marina was like, well, then I blame her since you're sitting up there doing everything for him. Then
exactly, you're telling him what to do. So, if Bryce could have his family, he would. If Bryce could be here right now, if I called Bryce and said, Bryce, come home, he would. He would not be at his mom's house.
Oh my gosh, she bossy. I mean, she's super bossy, ain't she? Woo-wee. Okay, so was he upset about the interview? Did he say that NENE snapped on him for doing the interview? Like, did he mention anything about that?
No, he didn't snap on me. He said, stop talking about my mom. But it came out in the interview that her assistant said that NENE is in Bryce's ass because I was on that interview. So that's why he called and said, hey, stop talking about my mom, leave my mom out of it.
So when he talked to you on the phone, because you said you talked to him yesterday, and he, in the interview, what was he saying about that?
Nothing. He was just like, if you do interviews, don't say nothing about my mom. She's mad and all this other stuff. So, which we all knew she was going to be mad. I mean, she didn't even know about the interview until Straight from the A called her and told her. So that's how she got onto the interview.
And speaking of that assistant, with his rude disrespect,
he's so unprofessional, honey.
Girl, I mean, he called you out your name and everything. And to be perfectly honest with you, I didn't even understand what he needed to call for, because NENE is more than capable of speaking for herself. And then he didn't even do nothing but come on and repeat, because I heard you be like, boy, where you been at? You saying the same thing? I mean, and he really did, because she was like, you never. And he was like, you never. And I'm like, oh my God. He done took her soul and put it in his, like they done became one. He must be totally up her booty, because he felt like he needed to come on as a man and be very disrespectful to Simone when it had nothing to do with him. That was between Simone and NENE. So bring name with the disrespectful self. Didn't nobody need your opinion. NENE is more than capable of speaking for herself.
She is.
Yeah. So is there anything else that you wanted to say? Because I think I'm gonna let you off right now. Like I said, I appreciate you taking the time today. Was there anything else you wanted to say? You wanted to let Bryson know, NENE know, you wanted to get off your chest? Maybe something that you've seen people making comments about and you just want to clarify, or you're pretty much.
I mean, I've seen so many different comments. Really, the main comments that I see is NENE's not obligated. She don't owe me nothing, which I have said multiple times. It's not about her being obligated. He's not her responsibility. He is completely me and Bryce's responsibility. People are saying you're just out for her money and all this other stuff. You're a clout chaser. It doesn't matter if NENE was rich or poor. Okay, I will still do the same thing. Bash my baby daddy and his mother if they don't take care, not in my child's life. Period. But this is the first situation I have where my kid's father and grandparent is not in their life. So therefore, that's why it's out. It just so happened that she's rich and she's famous and she's NENE Leakes. The other comments, I mean, people are, basically just a clout chaser, opportunist, and her, making him her responsibility. That's really, and I've already explained all that, previously, so plenty of times.
Well, kudos to you, Simone, for having the courage to come out and speak your truth, knowing that you would possibly get some backlash because of this whole NENE thing. Kudos to you for being a single mom of 3 children, because we get in relationships sometimes hoping things gonna work out. It don't always work that way, but you haven't abandoned your responsibility. You sitting up there still taking care of your children. Kudos for not needing to, because if you did, then hey, stuff happens, but I guess you're needing public assistance or anything like that. You done started a business and you are more than capable of taking care of your own children. So yeah, kudos to you, Simone. And I
really appreciate that.
Taking your time out today to come and speak to me and clarifying everything. I told you that this was not going to be a whole bashing thing, that I have your back.
Thank you.
I just wanted to let you know that from experience, I had your back and you didn't have nothing to worry about, girl. So again, I appreciate you, and give Blake on them chubby cheeks. He's just the cutest thing. He is the cutest.
Thank you.
And thank you for letting me know that little information that you let me know about the aunt raising Bryson, because I think that speaks volumes, and that's something that I had not found out, but that helps me understand Bryson a little bit better.
Right. Oh, I did want to say, I saw some things about people saying, NENE read me and everything like that, and why am I still, on blogs or doing interviews, I should say.
Okay.
NENE did not read anything. NENE was over speaking me. Okay. She was trying to overtalk me because she knew I was gonna get disrespectful. Okay, but I didn't. And I'm talking because people are reaching out to me wanting to hear my story. Now, if you don't care, don't listen. Why are you commenting? Okay, go on about your life. Okay. Obviously you guys care because you're listening, you're commenting, you're searching my page, you're adding me, all this stuff. So evidently it's something you want to hear as well. And what was the other thing I said? I think that was it.
Look, I know you'd be like, okay, you're trying to spit it all out, and you'd be like, but yeah, you said people trying to say that you was cloud chasing, all of that other stuff, and but what's the last thing you said? I don't forgot the last thing you said. Girl, I don't forgot the last thing she done.
I don't remember either. I just wanted, people to understand that, why is she still on the internet? I am not scared of NENE. NENE puts no fear in my heart, baby. Okay, everybody's like, oh, NENE this, NENE that. NENE puts no fear.
Oh, that's what it was. You saying that NENE had went off. Yeah, I didn't think that she went off either. I think that she did the exact same thing that she does on Atlanta Housewives. She's out, and as Simone says, she won't let you speak. You trying to talk, and she so that's all. So how is that going off? She didn't really say anything of relevant. I mean, if anything, she was lying and falsifying things. Even that you said, Simone, about how she said that she didn't know anything about the emails or something about the emails, but then her assistant came on and said that she had told him to write the emails. It's like, but wait a minute, you said that you didn't even know anything about the emails, but you're saying that you told them to send her the email. So now we're gonna caution another lie, just another lie. So matter of fact, she was probably so emotional running over. And I was shocked on that. I'm looking like, why would NENE Leakes come on the YouTube channel to
She called. She called multiple YouTube channels to tell this.
I said, not the rich bitch. Very right. I said, not the rich bitch. She done went on.
I'm giving this too much. You will never be in my presence again. Okay, well, you said that I've never been in your presence, but you just said I won't be in your presence again. So therefore, obviously.
Oh my God.
So, I was laughing. That interview had me rolling.
Yeah, that's what I want to tell you, Simone. I think that you handled it very well, because you didn't snap off. Like, a lot of things that was said, you were kind of laughing it off. And I can tell that you were trying to handle it another way. Then when I talked to you, you said, because I'm, all these people watching, I don't want to be on there snapping. But you did say when NENE was on there talking all that stuff that you did feel yourself getting angry, but you were composed, trying to bring it in. But I thought you did a wonderful job with the interview, composing yourself, actually. And I could definitely tell that by the end of that interview, you did look tired and burnt out, and a lot of things that had happened that you wasn't expecting to happen. But but I think you handled yourself well, considering the fact that you hadn't planned on all of them coming on. So Yeah. Well, kudos to you again, Simone. Is there anything else you wanted to say?
No, I'm good.
Oh, you
I
said no.
appreciate you bringing me, just bringing me on here. Just let me tell my story. Regardless of what people say. I mean, there's ups and there's downs, but
Yeah. Yeah,
I
no
appreciate
problem.
that, and I appreciate you supporting me.
Yeah, well, but like I said, I just wanted to have you come, because I do everything for a reason, and I had you on here for a reason, not just to talk about NENE Leakes, because I can give me, because hey, I don't get excited easily over no celebrity.
Right.
Like same thing we do. Like, only because you're on TV and because of your money status, I'm gonna be all excited. You ain't giving me no money. You ain't giving me hookups on TV, so I can give a damn less. But I specifically had you on here because I felt like we had some things in common, and I did not like how everybody was coming down on you. I went and did my research, and I found some things that I'm like, wait a minute, the apple don't fall too far from the tree. And just based on your Instagram page, she wasn't trying to go after Bryson because she would have said something a long time ago. So
exactly, I would
have. So yeah, again, thank you so much, Simone, for taking the time out of your day and away from your children to come and speak to me.
Yeah, of course.
If you need me for anything, girl, feel free to come back on Genevas Closet and speak your truth. Other than that, you have a fabulous evening, Simone.
Thank you. You too. Everybody, good night.
Bye.
Bye-bye.